Right, it's that time of the month. It's the employment index, and notably the Adcorp employment index for the month of April, and it's fallen by 0.2%. In the Johannesburg Power Lunch studio is Loane Sharpe, Labour economist at Adcorp. Your headline says the following, Loane. It says, jobs recession looms, trade unions in crisis. The recession's already there, isn't it?
Yes. We observed for the period January to December 2012 that employment was growing marginally, but then in the first 4 months of 2013, growth of jobs has fallen away completely, and we're looking at a prospect of 3 or 4 consecutive months of declines in employment, meaning that a jobs recession is underway. So there was last year a false dawn in the economy that lifted jobs, especially of a temporary kind, but that dawn has now disappeared, and with it the jobs.
Okay, let's have a look where the job losses were. You say they were focused in the retail, the wholesale trade, and also transport and logistics sectors. Why is that?
Those sectors are the most attached to the state of the economy. So as the economy recovers, jobs growth picks up first in the highly cyclical sectors like retail, like construction, logistics, and so on. And what we've observed following very strong growth in retail employment in particular, as companies like Shoprite and Woolworths and others have added to their temp workforces, those temp workforces have now been withdrawn. So the economy is in a very difficult state. These employment statistics, which come out within a week of the previous month, tell us, looking across temporary and all kinds of recruitment within our group, that the economy is actually flat on its back.
Yes, it is flat on its back, and we await with trepidation the next GDP number. But of course, those job losses that you've just spoken about in the industries that are so geared to GDP have been offset by government jobs, another 6,000, I think. That's not a good thing, surely.
Government employment from 1990 to today has increased from 1.1 million to 2.8 million. And if you want to give a cynical reading to that statistic, you would say that COSATU has been the primary beneficiary of government job creation. Unionization in the government sector has gone from about 63% to 78% over this period, which is exactly why COSATU doesn't give a damn about the state of job creation in general, because as a public sector union, its sector has been government. It's normally a bit of a mystery why trade unions are anti-jobs, because the faster employment grows, the more members they acquire. But we can see exactly why COSATU thinks that employment is irrelevant, for the reason that government employment and therefore public sector union membership has been growing.
Yeah, I was actually chatting to a chap called Jennings last week at the World Economic Forum, who's the Secretary General, I think, of Uni Global, and you're probably familiar with the fellow, but I couldn't get a word in edgeways, so I couldn't really express my thoughts. What about this, though? Demand for high-skilled workers remains strong, which is a good thing. 16,000 jobs created during the month. The economy shed low-skilled jobs, 18,000. So on the one hand, we've got one employment market. On the other hand, we've got another.
Yes, the economy's underlying potential to create jobs not in question. But it's creating 2 kinds of jobs in particular. Those for high-skilled workers, which includes management and the professions, law, finance, accounting, and engineering. And on the other hand, informal jobs. Street vendors, spaza shop owners, microbrewers, women working in child minding and personal and beauty care. So we've got a really polarized economy, which is what makes our crisis in education so disappointing. Because if people did acquire the skills, the economy has no reluctance to employ them.
Okay, Loane, we'll have to leave it there, brief as it was. Thank you very much for your time. That's Loane Sharpe, Labour economist at Adcorp, commenting on the Adcorp Employment Index for